Good evening and welcome to Glacier TV with the 6th and final round, the SimRacing Teams Challenge. ineX Racing may have already won the championship, but there's still a lot to fight for as we're here in the sun of Miami and Homestead, Florida for round 6 at the STC Blue Cup. Alongside me is Rob Cuss. Rob, what are you thinking about this 45-minute race we have tonight?
Been testing the track earlier myself with a few of the boys. It's going to make for some good racing. You can there's a lot of braking points, a lot of braking zones, there's quick sections. It's an on-off track, so you're either on the power or off it, and it's quite a technical challenge. So expect some good close racing. It's quite wide as well, so expect a lot of side-by-side racing. Turn 1, which is the fast left kink, it's going to be interesting at full tilt. Turns 2 and 3 are going to be, that's where mistakes are going to happen, and we might see some bumping.
Setup also is going to be quite key, with the mostly being a flat out circuit. As you said, as soon as they come from turn 8, they're flat out through the oval section until they get to turn 1, so a good aerodynamic setup for straight lines has got to be near enough necessary for this race.
Yes and no. I mean, you want stability, but the infield's quite really technical, so you don't really want to lose car as much going through there. So it's, as much as it is a fast layout for, I mean, Homestead's quite a tight, it's quite a tight oval. It's not as quick as some people think it is in these low downforce cars, but I don't know. It's a trade-off. Do you want to be quick through the infield, or do you want to be quicker on the oval? The oval's not that long.
No, it's not very long. We're currently qualifying at the moment. We have Douglas Lundberg, who's quickest with 1:13.1, with Dave Gelink second with a 1:13.2, and Ricardo Castellino is third currently at 1:13.3. They've had about 3 3/4 minutes of their qualifying sessions, nearing the halfway point. We have 20 drivers setting a time. With the early stages of qualifying, any surprises you've seen so far, Rob?
Just AJ stuffing up his lap for the radicals, and it was 15.81. In practice he was on a 1:13.3, so look to him to hopefully improve. Pablo hasn't done a lap either, he's around, but as you expect, it's those boys at the top again, ineX Racing, and then along comes Roland Ehnstrom, who decided to go for the current P2 with a stocking lap. Actually, that's a very, very good lap by Roland there to go P2.
Yeah, Roland Ehnstrom, very experienced in iRacing. He's only 4 thousandths slower than Douglas Lundberg at the top of the time, so also that'll be one to watch. And now we're going to go to the track guide for this track.
Hello, I'm Jake Sanson, and you're about to go on a fast lap on board with Pablo GoPro Lopez on the tour of the Miami Homestead road course. Very different to the oval. You're flat out down the main straight and a flat out left kink, just blipping the throttle and braking down for a tighter left-hander, third gear, second gear perhaps. Up towards turn 3, much tighter. You have to be very careful on the apex, careful on the exit too. Kiss the curb on the way through the right, plenty of throttle out of it, just a bit of opposite lock required there, and down the second of the 2 long straights, up towards a very tight right-hander at turn 6. Brake down, change down to second gear, again careful on the entry because it'll spit you out on the exit if you're not careful. Hug the curbs on the exit. Through another right kink and down the straight towards the tight left-handed hairpin at turn 8. Practically 180 degrees this one. Brake down very fast indeed, and a tight second gear, almost full lock through the left-hander. Now you can hit the throttle and really nail it on the way down the back straight, because you're about to experience the scariest thing you'll experience in a sports car. That's full throttle through the banking. Here we go. Watch out for the white lines. It could spit you out and you'll join the concrete wall club faster than you could believe. But Pablo's done okay, and that's a lap of the Miami Homestead Road Course.
So there we go, that is a 2.27 mile roval explained for you. We were talking about qualifying. Still Douglas Lundberg currently fastest from Roland Ehnstrom and Dave Gelink. Rob said before about Pablo Lopez not putting in a lap time. He's put one now, which is good enough for 5th place, 1:13.365, but Anthony Rosselli struggling down in 17th place with a 1:14.333.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with that. He was looking good in practice. He was down in the 13s and the low 13s at that. So obviously he's messed up his run. Both cars have got live streams as well. So we have AJ and Pablo both running live streams, if you want to check them out. And we'd like to thank our sponsors for bringing you this event: rSeat.net, Race Department, Mere Race Line, those lovely gloves that Pablo was wearing, SimRacing Hardware, SimRJ, and DigiGraphNet, I think it is, .com, who supply iRacing car paints if you fancy a new paint scheme for your car.
There's our sponsors, and before about Anthony Rosselli being disappointed, it certainly will give us something to watch in the first few laps and being further down, just to see how much he can fight his way through the field.
Exactly. I'm not going to comment too much on the radicals, because every time I do they go off and into a wall, so I'm going to keep shooting this time. I am going to look towards ineX Racing. Can anyone stop them? That's the question. They've been dominant in this series. They've been crazy good, and they've got 2 brilliant races in again. So they're going to be tough to beat. Roland Ehnstrom's looking nice and tidy as well, but the real battle comes for the championship, and it's still open between all the teams between 2 and 5. So between 2nd and 5th in the championship is wide open. So there'll be teams hunting for points to try and get those last 2 podium spots.
Yeah, we'll look at that a bit more further. We've got ineX on 442 who have won the championship. It's Danielsson Motorsports second on 304. Team GT currently held 3rd place in the championship with 271. And then there's a close battle for 4th. Roaring Pipes on 240 and Radicals 5th on 238. So every point is going to count for those teams fighting for those final podium places, as you said, Rob. So we're looking forward to some great racing. The qualifying is just about coming to a close. We've got about 50 seconds left to go. No real major changes from when we last spoke. It's still the same. But I'm going to go back to what you said about ineX Racing. They've got 2 very experienced drivers in there. 2 drivers who've raced in the World Championship Grand Prix Series, and Roland Ehnstrom and Dave Gelink, hugely experienced. Between the 2 of them, you've got to think maybe one of those will be able to get the job done.
It's a lot closer than normal, though, to be fair. But yeah, you've obviously got to look at Lundberg, but Gelink is so fast in these cars, and he's shown previously in other McLaren races that he's always one to watch. So, but Lundberg's got to be favourite, but Roland Ehnstrom's not too far behind. And to be fair, I mean, you look at the top 10, they're all capable of winning the event.
It's got to be nice to be the ineX team manager, Timo, even when you can substitute a driver like Enzo Benito, who's dominated races in the past, and then put someone like Ehnstrom in. As a team manager, that has got to be something you look forward to.
Yeah. I wonder if he's let him see daylight this week. Obviously kept him in the basement practicing, because they seem to have a very good work ethic that most teams should follow. They seem to have a very successful mechanic to their team, which is great, because it allows us to watch talent in pretty much every racing event and series.
So the car is starting to grid up now for this 45-minute race. We give a quick rundown of the grid. We've got Douglas Lundberg on pole, second is Roland Ehnstrom. On row 2, Dave Gelink and Ricardo Castellino. Row 3 is Pablo Lopez and Angelo Di Mella. The 4th row is Tony Gunnarsson and Gio Cardasso. 9th is Yves Van Hachten and Pawel Bienkowski running out the top 10. 11th is Rista Capet. 10th is Mika Salati. In 13th is Oscar Silent, 14th is Nacho Lamorti, 15th is Eduardo Jimenez, with 16th Reece Gardner, 17th is Anthony Rosselli, 18th Ivan Fernandez, 19th is Wim Stockmans, 20th is Marco Buin, and that rounds out your top 20.
Yeah, I mean the grid's taking shape now as they're getting ready. Pole man's looking hungry. Pass you over to Dan for the race start.
Yeah, so the cars will very shortly be getting the red lights turn off and the race underway. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see them going through the first 4 or 5 little corners, the little infield section we got. You can see quite a few overtaking manoeuvres going through that section because it's quite tight, but as you said before, it's very, very wide, so overtaking is possible, and it shouldn't be long before we see these cars burst into life to go down to that corner. So Rob's got the what's your carnage predictor for this race?
I'm going to keep quiet. There's going to be no carnage. Everyone's going to go through clean. They're going to be at one with nature through the first few corners.
I hope that is the case, because the last thing we really want to see is drivers being eliminated early from the race. So the cars go off now, and it's a good start in fact from the car second place that started alongside him was Roland Ehnstrom. So Roland Ehnstrom takes the lead going into the first corner, and it looks like his ineX teammate Dave Gelink is going to try and take second place round the outside, but at the moment it looks like the car of Douglas Lundberg is just about going to hold on, but there's a radical of Pablo Lopez taking third place, so Pablo Lopez making a good start. And what's happening to Anthony Rosselli as well going through the field, and at the moment, as you said, Rob,
it's too wide everywhere.
It looks like it is crazy, but it looks like
contact. We've got a little bit of contact further back in the order. There's cars off. They look like just trying to get. It's Yuri Gilson has got involved in a little bit of contact further back, so he's down. His car doesn't look too bad, so hopefully he can continue.
The curse of the commentator, we say there's nothing and then something happens right after, but there we go. And Ehnstrom is starting to pull away a little bit there from Douglas Lundberg, but he's got Pablo Lopez right behind him as Lundberg.
Wow, massive dive bomb further down. Oh, there's carnage. Oh, more carnage. There's cars all over the place. Wim Stockman's involved. I'm just trying to see who the other offenders were, but there was a silly lunge from about 8 car lengths back, and it was ridiculous.
So out of the 30 cars that started, it looks like we may lose a few, but start as we end the first lap. It is Roland Ehnstrom from Douglas Lundberg. Pablo Lopez is in third place. Fourth is Dave Gelink, and those 4 have already started to pull about a second and a half back to the 5th place car of Angelo Di Mella. Ricardo Castrolado 6th, Joe Cardoso 7th, 8th is Pawel Bienkowski, 9th is Tony Gunnarsson, and in 10th place
we have Reece Gardner heading onto pit road, so that's one of the other cars involved.
And there's a spin there for the we talk about even condition, and he's pulling into the wall coming onto the straight after the infield section. It'd be interesting to see how much damage he has, but I just saw that number 16 car go onto the grass, went across the track into the barrier, and that is not the start to the race he was hoping for.
We've got early carnage. I'm sorry, I'm watching the battle between I've lost where I was. It looked like Marco Buin and Will Currington got really close, like they were going crazy further back, which is great. There's a good battle going on. There's a car on the grass in front
one
of
the Black Rebels ones that was, but also Anthony Rosselli has made a move on the number 11 of Eduardo Jimenez, so I think you'll find Rosselli up to about 15th place in the car, which fell back to the number 30 of Oscar Salin. So Oscar Salin also having a bit of a poor start to race. He's trying to fight off the 68 of Will Currington. So in the first couple of laps, it's all going on here at Homestead on the Roval.
Yeah, it's a track, as I said, produced great racing, but it can allow for a dive bomb from way back because of the heavy braking sense. We've seen some examples of that already.
Yeah, we have indeed. That is one of the things about this track, and Pablo Lopez having maybe a little luck against Douglas Lundberg. He showed him his nose, but Pablo Lopez has got to be careful because the slightest of mistakes, and that will allow the ineX driver of Dave Gelink to make a move as well. So Pablo's got to have one eye on defending and another on attacking, but those 4, as we said before, are starting to pull away from the rest of this field. Already Pablo Lopez there, nearly into the back of Douglas Lundberg, just about avoids contact, but that's a bit of a hairy moment for the Spaniard.
Yeah, last of the late breakers well, so as we say, heavy braking zones, it can happen. If you brake a foot later than the person in front, you run the risk. As it looks like Gelink's all over the back of it. It's a bit of a team game. why Pablo did that, but they're going too wide.
3 wide
Go
maybe even here. Oh, Gelink pulls out of it. Pablo's on the grass. Is he going to hold it? No, he's not. Straight into the gravel. And Pablo Lopez's run looks like it's over for now. It's got a bit of a fight back. We've seen him fight back before, but that was just over racing there from Pablo. They were all fighting half a position, and unfortunately it's Pablo Lopez who loses out. He comes out just in front of his teammate Anthony Rosselli.
Made a bit of a boo-boo there, he did. Got himself on the grass. See, always happens.
But this has allowed Dave Gelink now to catch up to Douglas Lundberg. He's not got Pablo Lopez in his way anymore, so the battle for what was second place is now between 2 different drivers. Well, between 1 different driver in fact. There's still Lundberg in second, but it's now Dave Gelink instead of the car Pablo Lopez. We talked about Anthony Rosselli before, and Anthony Rosselli is up into 12th position, so one Radicals driver is starting to make a bit of a foray through the field. And that is Anthony Rosselli. He started 17th position and up into 12th now. Is there anything else you're seeing at the moment on track, Rob?
There's battles into braking zones. I can't keep up. There's battles going on everywhere. There's crazy driving everywhere. It's great, but it's so hard to keep up with. As I'm currently looking at Tony Gunnarsson in 7th place, trying to chase down Pawel Bienkowski for P6, and there's a couple of Black Rebels. I think there's a Black Rebels car in front as well. So he's got a good run out of like turn 3, and it's just closed him down.
We spoke about the race, and it looks like the 2 cars affected were Kevin Oliver Adam and Reece Gardner, both of them pits and currently 2 laps down. And the battle for second place, Douglas Lundberg starting to maybe pull away just slightly from Dave Gelink. Looking back at that battle you were talking about before with Tony Gunnarsson, he's got Joe Cardoso behind him, but Gunnarsson himself trying to make a move on the car of Pawel Bienkowski there. So Pawel Bienkowski goes a little bit wide, but Gunnarsson as well gets a bit loose. But the battle for 6th place is one that's going to be hotting up, and I reckon we could see a move maybe as he gets into the draft. So these 2 could maybe have a bit of a jousting battle going into turn 1.
Yeah, exactly. Joao Cardoso's not too far back either, with Risto just behind him, and then Mirko Solati is on the hunt as well. It's all close racing, which is great. Anthony Rosselli, I think, is actually now P11.
Pablo Lopez has lost a couple more positions there. He started the lap behind, and it looks like the car, the number 11 Eduardo Zimenez, has gone past. So Pablo Lopez, in fact, has dropped a bit of a time there. He's about 4 or 5 seconds behind Rosselli, so maybe Pablo Lopez has had another little lapse of concentration and he's lost another position. But the battle for second place, Dave Gelink is really giving Douglas Lundberg something to think about at the moment, but the 2 of them are a second and a half behind the number 46 of Roland Ehnstrom, who leads this race. And 3rd place is 2nd is Lundberg, 3rd is Gelink, in 4th is Angelo Di Mella, with 5th Ricardo Casaleggio, and then that battle we were talking about before with Pawel Bienkowski. And Pawel Bienkowski, in fact, has lost Tony Gunnarsson because Joao Cardoso has moved himself up to the 7th position there. So the number 25 of Joao Cardoso has passed Tony Gunnarsson. So another driver making a small error, it seems, is Tony Gunnarsson.
Easy to do in the heavy braking zones. It's, you get a little sideways on the brakes and just touch the grass and you're off. So it's quite easy to make mistakes here with heavy braking zones. You're coming from high speed down to next to nothing for some of these corners. So mistakes can happen. You can outbrake yourself. You try and make a move and you can have an error. It's not easy. You've got to concentrate.
It's sort of like a mini Daytona in a way, or not quite to the same scale, of course. The principles of that are quite the same with the heavy braking as well. So it's a course that some of these drivers probably would have experienced before, others maybe not. But this McLaren certainly does lend itself well to tracks like this.
Yeah, it's a tough track. It's also nice. You can't touch the curbs very much here. If you get on the curbs, your car becomes a passenger. Really, I've just watched a couple of cars just get all over the curb. They're just going left, right, and trying to get off them because the car's so unstable. So it's not one you can attack the curbs.
Another car I'm looking at the moment is one of your Radicals guys, the number 70 of Anthony Rosselli, who's caught up now to the back of Mirko Solati and Risto Capelli. So Rosselli, who started further down the field than he wanted to, is looking to try and break himself into the top 10. So that could be quite an interesting bout to keep an eye on. There's 3 or 4 cars there in a very close proximity, and as Rob was saying before, a lot of late braking manoeuvres. So in the next couple of laps or so, I think Anthony Rosselli will be on the move trying to make up some positions.
Hopefully so, but I'm not going to say anything. Pablo's not too far back either, so he'll be charging hard. But it seems Roland Ehnstrom has got his checkout ticket and said, "See you later, boys, I'm off." And he's away. He's got a 2-second advantage over the ineX boys, so there's some great driving there.
And Anthony Rosselli are going to try and let down the inside of Mikko Solati as they go into turn 6. I think he's just about going to make that stick. A good move there from Rosselli. Solati did try to fight back on the outside, but to no avail. So Anthony Rosselli into the top 10 for the Radicals, but Solati's got a good run here as they come now towards turn 8. So he's going to try and overtake Rosselli again. Late on the brakes, Rosselli gives him the room. Good driving now from Anthony Rosselli to give Solati the room, and Solati finds a way back past, but they're side by side, Rob.
Side by side, going into the oval part. So, well, the oval part, sorry. And who's got the quicker car? That's the thing. It looks like Solati's got the inside. Side draft maybe working for Rosselli. Oh, don't touch, boys. They're a little close. It's going to be. Oh my God! There we go through the kink. And AJ wisely lets him go, and will hopefully make the pass shortly. Oh, could be coming. It's tough bit of track that. Oh, so AJ gets all squirmy under power as well.
Yeah, the car of Anthony Rosselli has got a bit of a drive though coming out of the corner, and he could try to make the lap before. He's going to try and replicate it again down the inside of Mikko Solati. It's going to be an exact replica of that last lap, because Rosselli is going to go past, but this time Solati, there was a little bit of contact there. If not, it was very close, but it's lost Solati a bit of momentum, and now he's going to be under pressure from zoom-ins. But Pablo Lopez, we spoke about him earlier, he's going to try and make a move as well. So the 2 Radical cars are in the thick of it at the moment.
As usual. I'm going to get away from that battle because I don't like watching my teammates sometimes. They scare me. I'm going to check in with the P4 car of Angelo Di Mella, who's just currently circling by himself, but he's got Ricardo Castrolido just behind, who seems to be gaining each lap, especially on the brakes, and he's turning on Pawel Bienkowski as well. Bienkowski, there we go, get it right.
Also, it's ineX Racing 1-2, because Dave Gelink found his way past Douglas Lundberg, so the ineX domination could continue. They've won 4 out of the first 5 races. They're looking to make it a 5 out of 6. And ineX Racing 1-2 currently on the cars, because Gelink has got past Lundberg, so our top 2 cars are Roland Ehnstrom and Dave Gelink. Not really unexpected, Rob.
Yeah, but this ineX Racing 2-3. Gelink's ineX and Douglas is ineX. Roland Ehnstrom's not ineX Racing.
Ah, very true. Mistake on my part, sorry for that. But
well done, Dan. I'm like super confused for a second because I was watching both cars. I'm thinking, hey, what's going on there?
No. After,
although Timo even could be looking at Roland Ehnstrom thinking, you know what, I might try and pick him up because he's currently showing our boys how it's done.
He is indeed. Currently 3 seconds ahead as we're now near enough a quarter. We're just about a quarter of the way through the race. It is Roland Ehnstrom leading by 3 seconds to Dave Gelink. Douglas Lundberg is in 3rd. In 4th position, Angelo Di Mella. 5th is Ricardo Castrolido with Pawel Bienkowski in 6th position, hot on his heels. Joe Cadastro 7th, Tony Gunnarsson 8th, 9th is Risto Capelli, and 10th is Anthony Rosselli. And the we're looking now at the battle for 2nd place, because Douglas Lundberg on the back bumper of Dave Gelink. He's not going to give his teammate. He's not getting a very easy job at all, really. He's basically telling his teammate, "I'm not going to let you have this." But maybe it'd be wiser for them to work together and try and catch up Ehnstrom rather than battle each other.
Nah, let them race. They won the championship anyway. Who cares? Let them race. Team orders off. The off button has been pressed. Let the boys have a go at each other. That's what it should be about. That's real racing. I'm currently a little bit further down the field, looking at Christopher Aponte, Frank Lewis, Peter Piek are all in close proximity to each other, having a little cruise around with Frank Lewis in I think he drives, it looks like a Falcon GP car from the blimp that I'm using, and it is one of the nicest paint schemes on the track. As I'm getting word, Roselli is flying.
He is flying
and
indeed.
He's just gone P9.
So I moved that.
He's sideways.
And now he's sideways.
Oh, he saved it. He saved it. Oh, he's fighting off Marco. Oh, it's all getting a bit crazy close.
And also, Pablo Lopez has got past Eduardo Jimenez, but the main battle we're obviously looking at is Anthony Rosselli and the car of Mikko Solati. Now, Solati has got the outside line, but that's not going to be good for him because Rosselli will be able to have the inside line the advantage here, but not far behind them indeed is Pablo Lopez. So Pablo Lopez wants a bit of this as well, and Rosselli and Solati, we've seen what happened last time they came close at this part of the track. This time they make it too clearly, and Rosselli takes the inside line. Pablo Lopez on the outside. Don't go free wide, Mirko, whatever you do. And Pablo's on the outside of both of them.
Team driving. All about team driving, boys.
And Pablo Lopez says thank you very much. So that's 2 positions. Pablo, now that must have looked good on his onboard.
Yeah, I should imagine it did. And while we're on that, he drives with Mayor Gloves, one of our sponsors. SimRacing Hardware, SimRJ, rSeat.net, Race Department, and digigraphic.com. There are series sponsors, thank you very much. And yeah, it's all good.
It's all good at the moment. We know what the curse of cuss is like though, so I think it's best we get away from these radicals and concentrate on matters further up the field.
Looks like we've got a good battle between P5 and P6 over, running quite close. They're about half a second behind each other.
But the battle for P2 is hotting up as well, because Gelink, a wheel on the grass, has given Douglas Lundberg an opportunity to get a run, but I don't think he's going to make anything of it as we go into turn 8. So Gelink making a small mistake there, but luckily for him, Lundberg wasn't able to take advantage. But the two of them are weapons similar to Roland Ehnstrom. But also further back there, sounds like your radicals have been in a bit of action, Rob.
I'm not commentating on the radicals. I'm just looking at the ineX boys just cruising around. They're having fun. I think name of the game. Roland Ehnstrom was just checking out. He was like, "See you later, boys." Completely gone. 3.5 second gap now. Brilliant.
And Anthony Rosselli has had contact with Mikko Solati, but they've been able to continue. No change in positions, and Douglas Lundberg has taken second place now from Dave Gelink. So a change for second position, and I am assuming that was on the turn coming into turns 2 and 3. So the ineX boys have switched positions again.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those days, and they're just going at each other, almost running into each other. They're just showing they can drive and have fun, which is, why we all do this. It's good, nice, close racing. That's what we like to see. Action everywhere.
And with the championship run, these two can go right at it. There'll be no multi-12-31 today. These two drivers really will be fighting it out, and I think no one else is ready to race. They'll enjoy this battle. They're probably about the only battle they're going to get, really, because the other drivers behind them are about 4 seconds back. But speaking of drivers further back, Pawel Bienkowski's on the move. He's overtaken Ricardo Castellano and taken 5th position. So that's that number 7 car of Pawel Bienkowski up into 5th place.
Yeah, I'm currently looking at P15, which is the Falcon GP car of Frank Louis, who is being chased down by left Van Gelink. If you remember, he had a little bit of an off earlier on the race, and he's trying to battle his way back. He's right on the back door of Frank Louis, and he's got a good run going into the oval. His car looks monstrously quick, and it's straight to a curved line. Yeah,
it does. As you said before, that car, number 16, was in the wall at the beginning of the race, so he's doing well to get back. And I think this position around the outside is going to be pretty standard, although Louis just tried to fight it off. But as you said before, Rob, just that speed, and it's maybe a little bit. I thought that he was going to go a bit wide, but he's kept it going. But number 16, the speed and braking was far superior of his rival, and as a result, he's moved up the position.
Yeah, he's looking to work back from his earlier mistakes, so fair play. He's battling hard, which is good. He's fast. It's a shame that he had that earlier on, because I think he would have been quite high up, easily top 6. So because he's just motoring away right now.
And speaking of earlier mistakes, Pablo Lopez right on the back of number 18 of Risto Capet. Now he made a couple of mistakes earlier on, dropping himself out of the top 10. He's currently in 9th position, but he's going to try and make his way up into 8th place. He's also got his teammate behind him, Anthony Rosselli. What, 2 radicals in the top 10.
Gelink almost went off. Gelink almost went off. It looked like Lundberg was a bit early on the brakes and surprised Gelink. It was all kinds of sideways going into a corner. That was quite entertaining.
And Pablo Lopez's position, but now he's given it. He's gone wide and gifted the position back. So great racing here between these 4. It's Capet, Lopez, Rosselli and Salati. These 4 really going at it at the moment. I think this probably will be the main source of attention, because Pablo Lopez right on the rear here of Risto Capet is nearly on the grass there, goes jinking back up to the outside. Very rash decisions there, a bit of a tap on the rear, gives him a touring car tap into the corner, no damage done, and they're able to continue on with their race.
Yeah, rumour has it Pablo's in line for a British touring car driver. Judging by the way he's going out.
Down the inside! Oh, wow! That is... and Rosselli behind him has gone round. AJ Rosselli.
Mirko Salati.
Contact there, Mirko Salati. And that's another candidate for a touring car drive. The little bump and run, but this battle is Pablo Lopez on the outside here of Risto Capet. It's action at all stations here at the moment in this STC Blue Cup season finale. The fireworks have well and truly been set off. It's the last race, and they're making sure it's one that's remembered. Pablo Lopez wants his 8th position of Risto Capet, but he's decided to back out. But he could try and break down the inside, but that braking manoeuvre, it's very, very close to the rear. But that braking manoeuvre going down into turn 8, that was some lunge down the inside. He lost the position on the outside, but Pablo Lopez very nearly taking it with that lunge.
Last of the late breakers. He's been watching MotoGP, hasn't he, with Mark Marquez. That's where he's been getting his tips from.
And again, he's very close to back end of Capet. They're coming through the 6 and 7 section. But as you said at front, Roland Ehnstrom really has checked out. He's nearly got a 5-second lead over Douglas Lundberg and Dave Gelink, and the 2 of those have pulled away from the cars behind. 4th was Angelo Di Mella, with 5th Pawel Bienkowski, with Castellano 6th, Cardoso 7th, and then that battle for 8th and 9th between Capet and Lopez. And Anthony Rosselli dropped down to 13th place as a result of that incident. So number 13 is a bit unlucky at the moment, I think, for Anthony Rosselli. He's got about 4 seconds before the next car in front of him, which is Tony Gunnarsson. But Roland Ehnstrom has completed nearly half the race, and so far he's been unhassled for them near enough the whole of it.
Yeah, we've just had a lot of disconnects as well. Yuri Gilson's disconnected. Fernando Benito. There's quite a few that have decided enough's enough, and they're going to retire to the bar.
Yuri Gilson was involved in an incident earlier on in the race. He had a little spin, but so that's his day ended. And also currently Reece Gardner is 7 laps down, but he's still running in the number 15. The same with the 73 Kevin Oliver Adam. He's 3 laps down, but he's still going. So the only 2 retirements we have so far, even Fernandez and Yuri Gilson. And it just shows with Gardner and Adam, they've got damage, they're laps down, but they know that points are crucial. So if they can come around and take advantage of any disconnects or retirements.
Pablo looks to the outside. Mirko Salati as well. It's all going off. There's a brilliant battle for P5, but there's battles from P5 all the way down to like P12 at the moment.
And Pablo Lopez down on the apron. And there's contact between the 2 there. Risto Capet into the wall, and I think that from Pablo, that was a bit reckless, I've got to say.
He was on the apron, got caught on the apron, and looked as though he slid up.
So Pablo Lopez, he's up in position, but he's going to lose one here to Mirko Salati. But I think race control might be having words with Pablo Lopez after that. Going down on the apron is never a good thing at any oval track like that.
I don't know. I'm gonna have a little look, and it looks like Capet comes down on Pablo. If you watch a replay, if we can get a replay, that'd be great. Pablo goes to the inside, and it looks like Capet comes down.
More contact there from Pablo as he just goes into the back of Mirko Salati, putting the bumper in just a little bit there. Not very severe, but Pablo Lopez certainly in the thick of the action, as you said before, Rob. Maybe he did come down on him, but Pablo Lopez was extremely low going down the apron, a very quick movement there because he was behind and made the move, but as we said before, we'll probably see a replay of that very shortly here on Glacier TV, but the end result unfortunately is damage for Risto Capet, who's now in the pits.
Yeah. I'm going to move swiftly on and have a look at the battle for P4, which is Angelo Di Mella. And it looks like Pawel Bienkowski has got past Angelo Di Mella for P4. So that was, he was flying earlier.
So Bienkowski up to 4th position, and also we're looking to cash in here is Ricardo Castellado, who has raced in the he's qualified for the Pro Series, I believe, this year, Ricardo Castellado. So he's also another driver of experience on the roadside here on iRacing, and he'll be trying to get himself into the top 5, and the car which is stopping him from being there at the moment is the number 05 of Angelo Di Mella, but Ricardo Castellado seen Pawel Bienkowski go past him, so he'll be trying to replicate it and go up to the top 5 very shortly.
Yes, the battle's definitely hotting up for P4 as Angelo Di Mella did not like being passed. He's lunging left, right and centre trying to get his position back. He's got a monstrously fast car around the oval. Let's see what he's like on the brakes as they go into turn 1.
Also Pablo Lopez side by side with Mirko Salati for the P8, this time Lopez on the outside. Salati has given him room, so they both carry on round to the turn 4 section of the oval. Pablo Lopez, much better speed, that's like in that Radicals machine. He's able to drive past number 99 and take their position. So Pablo Lopez up into 8th place. It just seemed, a much more straight line speed as well. And Salati across the grass, and that could have been that could have been a bit of carnage there, but he held it well, did Mirko Salati in the 99. He's kept his position as well, so he's up still in 9th position, with Eduardo Jimenez not far behind him, but that's surely going to be a bit of a brown pant moment there for Salati.
He might have some damage from all that earlier BTCC stuff with Anthony Roselli, so we don't know what damage is on his car, which might explain his little low speed according to compared with Pablo's car, but he's certainly in the thick of it, isn't he?
Certainly in the thick of it indeed, and one driver who is not in the thick of it is Roland Ehnstrom. But I'm looking back at this battle for 14th and 15th place. We've got Linus Broström and Uf van Cheeden, and in fact the 16 car has gone straight past the 71. The 71 car of Broström seems to almost gift him that position, so moved the number 16 up into 14th position there.
A Leaf is flying. He is going so quickly. It won't be long before he's in the back door of Will Currington, and I don't envisage him staying there for too long.
And another change of position is that the number 30 car, Oscar Starlin, for the Black Rebels, has gone past Talk Freak Racing Stefan Coppins. So Oscar Starlin up into 18th place, and Coppins is under pressure now from the car of Peter Peach. So these are the cars running out the top 20. So action all through the field, as we said before, in this Sim Teams Challenge Blue Cup race. We've got Oscar Starlin, Stefan Coppins, Peter Peach and Wim Stockman's in close proximity of each other. This is further down in the top 20.
Exactly, and this is the Blue Cup. So this is the spring and summer series. If you want to take part of this with your team, there is the Black Cup, which is the autumn winter series that will be coming up, and that starts in September. So if you fancy giving this a go, then you need to set your sights on 20th of September, Road Atlanta for the Black Cup. That's when that starts. So if you fancy giving this a go and you're watching on the live stream and you've got a team, get involved.
We said before about Leaf trying to gain a position, and now right on the back of Will Currington. So Leaf, as you said, he did fall quite gracefully like a Leaf earlier on, but now he's trying to get himself back into contention for a top 10, and he's not far behind Will Currington. In fact, he's going to go down the inside. I don't think Currington is going to make it too hard for Leaf, and then to come into turn 1, I think Leaf will take the position, which he does do. So there is a bit of smart driving here by these drivers. Some of them know that the car is faster and it's probably not in their best interest to fight them. A bit of dust kicking up in front of them there. Don't think there's a car off though, but another position gain there for Leaf. He's now up to 13th place.
Yeah, he went sailing past that flat-out racing car completely, just like it wasn't there. See ya. That was it. He's gone. He's
gone indeed. And the battle for seeing what's any battles going on track. the two ineX boys are still close proximity of each other. That's Douglas Lundberg and Dave Gelink. The gap to Roland Ehnstrom ever so slightly increasing. He takes another couple of tenths out of them on that lap, but oh, it's gone wide as Douglas Lundberg, and that can allow Dave Gelink the chance to come down the inside as they come to turn 3. He lost it enough on the brakes, and Dave Gelink takes the position back, so the switch in positions there.
He's going to, knowing Douglas here, just try and get better exit speed, which he has done. He's closing. Will he look to the inside? He does.
Yes, he will.
He decides better of it. Oh, his team gave him room. Good effort. Some great driving there by those boys, showing how you can race clean and fair.
Yeah, indeed.
I wonder if there's a side bet. I wonder if Team has got any money on these guys. Like, I wonder if there's some in-house betting going on. Who knows with that lot.
You might let them out of the cupboard if they get a good result, but the battle for 4th place.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just switched to that.
Bienkowski and Angelo Di Mella. You said before, Rob, that Di Mella did not like being overtaken by Pawel Bienkowski. And now he's showing actions as well. Now he's coming right to the back of Bienkowski. He's gone up high though, and he's gone way too high there.
Lose all the speed, lose all your momentum. That's not how to race an oval. You don't pull out that wide. He should have stuck there and waited for the kink, to be fair, and done him on the brakes. But it looks like Pawel got a little loose. Oof. There's Angelo's trying to be late on the brakes, and it's some good racing between the Black Rebels car and the Team GT car. All good. Some close racing.
Mella was lucky. He was lucky there that Riccardo Castellano was as far behind as he was, because Castellano could have had an opportunity there, because Di Mella did lose a lot of momentum, as you said there. But this is a battle that's going on for the bottom of the top 5 between 4th place Bienkowski, 5th Di Mella, and the 6th place car of Riccardo Castellano. We're looking at a battle earlier on, and Pablo Lopez and Mikel Solati. Now that has sort of neutralised there, because Pablo Lopez pulled out a bit to Mikel Solati. We've got Eduardo Jimenez and Tony Gunnarsson though in close proximity in 10th and 11th, and also not far behind them is Anthony Rosselli.
Yep, he's skulking up behind him, but these guys are going hard at it, and if Tony Gunnarsson's got a similar setup to his teammate Roland, then you're going to expect a really fast race car on the oval section, which they're heading on to now. But it looks like he caught the curb on the exit going onto the oval, so that's going to cost him some time.
Yeah, Anthony Rosselli certainly seems to have caught him up ever so slightly, and in the next couple of laps or so, this two-way battle I think is going to turn into a bit of a triple threat there, because Anthony Rosselli is dropped back down. He was higher up earlier in the race, mainly as we saw, he dropped down a few positions earlier on, and now he's trying to fight back again. So it's been really a case of radicals this race of fighting back from adversity, but I still think Rosselli goes to get a top 10 out of this, because he's still got about 15 minutes left.
Not saying a word.
And Rosselli now is right behind Tony Gunnarsson, and it wouldn't surprise me if he at least shows him the nose as they come into the corner. Yeah, he does show him a bit of the nose there, and Anthony Rosselli and Tony Gunnarsson fighting hard. They're not far in front of them, as I said before. It's the car of Eduardo Jimenez and also Mikel Solati as well. So between 9th and 12th position, they're quite close, but Anthony Rosselli will be trying to make a move. He'll try and get a run onto the oval section. It takes a different line there to Gunnarsson. Gunnarsson went out a lot wider, but Rosselli apexed more on the inside, and it'd be interesting to see just how much of an effect that's had as they come down to the oval section.
Yeah, exactly. I've switched back to the battle between 4th, 5th and 6th, and they're all a little bit closer than they were before, and it's Riccardo Castellano who's in the best position for this, because we know Angelo's a little bit risky with his moves, so Riccardo's kind of just sitting there chilling in 6th, waiting for a mistake by the guys in front, which is probably going to happen.
And they're coming
more
up
than
to
likely from the team.
And also, they're coming up to that lap car of Rhys Abner, who is currently 9 laps down, but he's gallantly fighting on. But these three, we'll hope he sees them, and Di Mella
almost
there.
a mistake there by guess who? Angelo Di Mella almost got it wrong on the brakes. And it's each time they make a mistake, Riccardo's just sitting there. The trouble is his car doesn't look as good on the oval. It doesn't look quite as quick.
and that's good driving there by the tail ender to go up high. He's not affecting them at all. So these two will carry on racing, and I think Di Mella will try and make a move, but Bienkowski very early goes to the inside line and says to Di Mella, you have to go around the outside. But this means it could get cut back here, and Di Mella, this is good driving if he can it's good driving by two to give each other room there, and Di Mella showing Bienkowski maybe that would be a bit of a bad move there from Di Mella, because now Bienkowski will know for future reference that that little cutback is something Di Mella could do on him.
Exactly, it's stored that in his little box of knowledge, basically, and probably won't let that happen again. But every time Ricardo gets close to the back of these guys pull out. It's, I don't know whether he's suffering from, I don't know, maybe he's just got too much wing on his car and he can't keep up on the straights, because he seems to close in the corners, so maybe there's just a bad wing choice. As Di Mella so late on the brakes again.
Yeah, Angelo Di Mella, we've seen that first time we've seen him late on the brakes going into turn 8. We spoke before about Anthony Rosselli. He's gone past Tony Gunnarsson, so Anthony Rosselli up to 11th place, but this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th is probably one of the better battles on the track. We've also got the battle for 2nd place, of course, between Dave Gelink and Douglas Lundberg as well, but Douglas Lundberg has dropped back a bit there, but Pawel Bienkowski on the inside again. Yeah, so it must have been a mistake there for Douglas Lundberg, but Di Mella didn't cut back this time, so Bienkowski, I think, probably have been better from Di Mella maybe to keep his powder dry, because Bienkowski there defended against that move.
But if these guys realise that if they've looked at F3, which for all you guys that may not have used this service before, F3 is a relative time which is in the little right hand corner, they may have noticed that Lundberg is suddenly 5 seconds in front, not 7. So maybe they're going to stop battling and try and chase him down for that last podium spot.
Nah, I think they're coming up to some slower traffic, but I think these three are going to battle on, because Bienkowski defended, and Bienkowski got very loose there mid-corner, and Di Mella could have took advantage there, but he wasn't quite close enough, and the cars they've got in front of them, which are traffic, are Krzysztof Babic and Christopher Aponte. So those two cars in 23rd and 24th are the next they're going to come across. So we said before about traffic with one of them, but with those two of them there as well, in quite close attendance to these guys, you've got to hope that they can certainly make an impact on this race.
Yeah, let's hope they got their wits about them. We'll see. Traffic's always fun when you come up to it, and Pawel is about to find that out as he goes right up on the back door of that really damaged car in front. Oh, look, what are you doing? Get out of the way! And
now that's given the advantage to Di Mella, and just as we said before about the tail enders maybe influencing the race, that was just what I was talking about. But Castellano, Di Mella with a cutback there. All kinds
of side by side going on.
Oh, Will Benson would love this. And onto the grass, he just about keeps it up. Onto the grass with Castellano. Ricardo Castellano on the grass, so he's going to drop back further, but main action here is Di Mella out braking on the outside, but that Bienkowski's got the inside line as they go into the oval section.
No, he's gone round it.
Di Mella's got the drive, so that tail end has really cost Pawel Bienkowski, but as a result, Angelo Di Mella has gone up to 4th position, but that was a brave move round the outside of turn 8, but Bienkowski is not going to let him go very easily.
Yeah, but he's done the silly move again. He's gone too wide, trying to go around the outside on the oval, pulled up too high and lost all his momentum. Oh, he's going to look to the inside. See who's last late breakers as they go into turn 2, and now into turn 3.
Yeah, the last of the late breakers, there wasn't much between them there, so positions are as they were, but up front we've got about 8 minutes to go. Roland Ehnstrom, we haven't really spoken about him because there hasn't really been much to speak about. He had the lead right from the start and he's kept it. 2nd place is Dave Gelink, who's now got a 3-second gap back to Douglas Lundberg, but Gelink's coming across some of the slower cars as well. He's got the cars of Peter Pitch, Nacho Lamorti and Marco Buin in front of him, but Lundberg's quite a bit further behind now, so he's got a bit more time to negotiate this. And I think Lundberg's been off again.
Oh, it's all gone off. It's all gone off. Pawel Bienkowski's back up to P3 and P4, and Angela's behind him again. Traffic. What's going on? Look in your mirrors.
Douglas Lundberg there has lost a lot of time indeed, Rob. He's not far in front of these guys so the battle for fourth place become the battle for the last spot on the podium, because Lundberg is now 13 seconds behind. He's lost another few seconds. Now these guys are about 4 seconds behind him, so that's the battle for fourth place. Bienkowski.
Lundberg outbraked himself completely on his own. Outbraked himself. Looks like the turn just before you come back on the oval. So at the hairpin, he must have been having a drink, and he got some water on his brake pedal and slipped off. It's the only
We've also lost Riccardo Castellano. So we said before that Castellano was in a prime position. He's lost that, and I think that probably will come down to that turn 8 incident between the faster cars and the tail enders. It'll be interesting to see what's happened there, but Riccardo Castellano seems to be out of the race, and that is a bitter blow for him.
Alright, let's have a look. I'm going to whiz back if you keep commentating, and I'll find out what actually happened.
Yeah, I'm going to keep on looking at this tool between Bienkowski and Di Mella, because these two, and we've been told it was disconnection, so that's really unfortunate.
Disconnect.
At the worst
Unlucky.
possible time. But that means now
But
that
that's two
Bienkowski
radicals in the top 10. Woohoo!
also means that Bienkowski only has to worry about Di Mella, but Di Mella is quite a tough cookie, as we've seen earlier on. We've had about 40 minutes of this race. It's flown by. We've got 5 more minutes left at the STC Blue Cup, and it's going to be as frantic as the season has been, really. We've seen some great racing in this Blue Cup, and Bienkowski and Di Mella, I reckon, will be going right to the flag here in this battle.
Yeah, as looks like Roselli's gained another spot, but just this STC Blue Cup is brought to you by rSeat.net, Race Department, SimRacing Teams, MIR, SimRacing Hardware, SimLarJ, and GGGraph.com.
And those are our sponsors, and we thank them very much for their support at the STC Blue Cup. Pawel Bienkowski, though, seems now to have put a bit of a gap to Angelo Di Mella. So there's me talking about them maybe battling towards the end of the race, but Bienkowski is trying to make a break.
It seems so. I don't know. I think Di Mella's just in the draft still. He's just on that borderline. See how late he is on the brakes. It's quite late to try and gain some ground. Can he hold on to it? See, he gained about 3 car lengths just on the brakes there, so he's taken a lot of risks.
Another battle which we can see shape up towards the end of the race is for 6th place, because Pablo Lopez and João Cardoso seem to be closing up. So the Radicals driver is going to try and catch number 25. But I think time might just about run out for him, because we've got about 4 minutes left to go in the race. And the other Radical of Anthony Rosselli has got a gap between himself and Mikko Solati of about 2 seconds. I think for both of these drivers now, it may just be a little bit too late to make a move, but we've had some great racing today, and Roland Ehnstrom really, since the lights went out, has dominated this race.
Yes, he has. He's just drove away from the rest of the field. We've had great racing all series, really. It's a fantastic series that Race Department STC have put on. So massive well done for putting on this great racing spectacle. Good choice of tracks. Just attracting some of the best teams in the world. Maybe Redline might put a team in next time for the Black Cup. Who knows?
Yeah, that's one of the main big teams that missing is Team Redline. Now that would be something to watch. The likes of Gregor Hutu, Luke McLean, Nazi Kirchhoff, Richie Stanley. They've got so many good drivers at their deposit over there at Redline, so they definitely will be a welcome addition to their championship.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think ineX would top them. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? But
that would
anyway,
definitely be. Anyway, that's about that.
Back to P4, P5. Oh,
Bienkowski on the
P4's gone off.
grass. And that's now Di Mella to come past, and the car which caused them all the strife is a 17 of Marco Buin. So that has, once again, the tail enders have affected the outcome of this race, because Angelo Di Mella has gone past Pawel Bienkowski, and Bienkowski did well there to keep his car going. He was on the grass, very nearly lost control, but he managed to keep it on. But at the consequence of losing a position. And I reckon they were very close to this being the last lap. We had about 1 minute before. I reckon we get 2 more laps in. So Bienkowski has not got long at all to get his position back. Oh, right over the curve, Bienkowski! So much momentum there, but he can't quite make the move. But Bienkowski, that's the most aggressive entry to turn 1 I think I've seen all race.
And he held on to it. Fair play. He's letting it all hang out, so we shall see if he gets the reward. He's taken a really interesting line, but this in the grass.
So we're looking at Roland Ehnstrom now, and it'd be interesting to see just how much of the race he's got left, because coming around to the turn 3 and 4 section.
Pablo's right on the back of Pawel Bienkowski for P6.
So if this is the last lap, that could be a very interesting end to the race, but I think we'll just about have time for 1 more lap. And Ehnstrom now comes out of the section of turn 4 oval, and we've got another lap to go. There's 26 seconds left when he crossed the line, so we will have another lap of fast and furious action here from Homestead. And Pablo Lopez right on the back here of Giancarlo Darso in the battle for 6th place. I don't know where we're going to look at the end of this race. There's so many battles on track. We've got a battle for 4th place, we've got this one for 6th. And then further back as well.
I'm going to watch P4 battle, so you can watch the other one.
I'll keep an eye on this battle here with Pablo Lopez. He's going round the outside here. He's got to try and do round the outside. Giancarlo Darso. In fact, Pablo Lopez, good run out of the corner. He's down the inside, and he takes the position away. So good driving there from Pablo Lopez to take 6th position. I think he'll be quite disappointed with his display. He's made a few errors. But this time he manages to get through without any contact, and it was a very good move there, and he's up into 6th position. What's happening in that battle further up, Rob?
Angelo Di Mella and Pawel Bienkowski are leaving nothing. No room left on the track. They are using every inch, every millimetre. They're outbraking themselves, they're making mistakes. It's crazy.
But Roland Ehnstrom now will cross the line, and it's the 6th race of the championship over, and Roland Ehnstrom has taken victory. So ineX Racing have had 4 out of 6 races. Ehnstrom has stopped them from winning, but Dave Gelink will take 2nd place. In 3rd place is Douglas Lundberg, and this battle
Di Mella for 4th.
It's going to see Di Mella take 4th and Bienkowski 5th. Pablo Lopez is in 6th place, but he's got a slower car in front of him. We've seen the influence they've had so far in this race, but Pablo Lopez just about going to hang on to it there in front of Giancarlo Darso. 8th position.
Rosselli.
Anthony Rosselli. Rosselli's gone past Solati on that last lap. So Anthony Rosselli takes 8th for the Radicals. Solati 9th. Rounding out the top 10 is Eduardo Jimenez. Tony Gunnarsson 11th. Leif Van Echteren will take 12th position, just crossing the line now. He's another one who had problems earlier in the race. And then there's a bit of a break before the number 68 car of Will Carrington will cross the line in 13th place. Just comes across the line now. So Carrington in 13th. The 14th place is Linus Broström. Running out of top 15 is going to be Frank Louis. 16th place is going to be Win Stockmans. And those are the only cars left on the lead lap. And Win Stockmans, in fact, they're slowing down. So could Win Stockmans be out of fuel, I wonder? And also Frank Louis was slow, but it's crossed the line now. But Win Stockmans, I don't think it's even going to complete the race. No, he's not.
Oh, he's a lap down, so it doesn't matter as much. So don't worry about it. Oh well.
But
he's
it's a good victory.
Pushing back.
But Roland Ehnstrom, a fantastic drive from him, Rob. He took the lead from the start, and that was it. Nobody saw him for the rest of the race.
Yeah, complete and a flag-to-flag domination by Roland Ehnstrom. I take my proverbial hat off to you, sir. You've driven brilliantly.
I think those ineX boys may very well have some have a bit of a whipping session from Mr. Timo Evenen in that dark basement there, because this is only the 2nd time this season.
Think so.
No,
I think the gloves
joking.
are off. I think the gloves are off. So he's let them free rein. He's let them out of their little closets and stuff that he keeps them in. But yeah, ineX Racing absolutely dominant. We're trying to work out the team standings, because to be honest, I haven't got Scooby-Doo what the team standings is going to be, because there's teams that grab places from other teams. They're all in the top 5. RPM didn't have a great race, so chances are they've lost 4th position in the championship. GT had an okay race. But I don't know. Someone needs to work it out for me because I'm not smart.
Danielsson Motorsport had a bit of a lead, second place going into the race. They had what was essentially a 33-point lead over Team GT. So, how did Danielsson Motorsport finish?
I don't know. Let's ask the clouds and the sky because it's too hard for me to work out on the fly.
But we think the Radicals may have made a position up. As you said, RPM did not have the best of races, whilst the Radicals had 2 in the top 10 with Pablo Lopez in 6th and Anthony Rosselli 8th. But those battles going into the race were the ones that we were interested in for the championship, of course, with ineX winning it already. It was between Danielsson, Team GT, Roland Pipes and the Radicals for that final podium positions. Danielsson, I think, will probably have secured second place at that 33-point margin, but behind that, that's where it could get a bit tricky, I think.
Yeah, we're waiting for some drivers to hop in and give us their after-race interviews, and no one's here yet. It's terrible. They don't want to talk to us. They're scared of us, which is a bit of a shame at the moment. Well, we're trying to get you some race interviews. Timo Evening, if you're listening, maybe you want to pop in and give your thoughts. Who knows?
I do think Danielsson Motorsport probably would have got second place because they had the race winner Roland Ehnstrom, and also they have an 11th position with Tony Gunnarsson. So those are 2 quite solid results. So I don't think Team GT would be able to pull back from that. So I think second place we can say is Danielsson Motorsports. This is completely unofficial, but
yeah,
that's what I'm thinking at the moment, Rob.
And it's scary when you think, Dan. It's definitely scary when you think. But I agree. Roland Ehnstrom didn't do his team any harm by winning that race by a mile. So good job there. So it looks like Danielsson Motorsport have secured second in the championship. What we need to find out is who has got third. My maths is rubbish, so I have no idea.
The fourth place driver Angelo Di Mella, I think, is from Team GT. So Team GT do have a top 5 finish there. So
and 9th, Mirko Solati's GT, I think.
So I think
they have a 4th and a 9th.
I think the way that this championship's going to finish then is ineX winning it, Danielsson second, with Team GT in 3rd position, the Radicals in 4th, and Roland Pipes in 5th.
Exactly. We're in the presence of greatness. We have your race winner and Danielsson Motorsport team driver Roland Ehnstrom, who led from start to finish in a dominant display of McLaren driving.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. What were your thoughts on that race? You did quite well there, buddy. You drove from start to finish, and no one was near you.
Yeah, thank you. That was pretty much the perfect race for me. Second in the qualifying, but front row was the crucial thing. Start was great, and then I got the gap, and they started battling behind. So after that, it was quite steady.
Quite steady, mate. You just pulled out a gap. It was some fantastic driving, if I'm perfectly honest. Nice and controlled. Your car looked good when I was watching it. Easy to drive. You did drive pretty much the perfect race. So massive well done. And it looks like you secured P2 in the championship for your team as well, which is brilliant as well.
Yeah, that is fantastic. I mean, ineX were in a league of their own. Big congratulations for them for the championship victory. We were fighting for second place pretty much all the way through the championship, and we got it, so very happy about that. We're a small national team from Sweden, so it's a big accomplishment for us to be second in this great series.
Yeah, you've a small team, yeah, but you're from Scandinavia, so it's in your blood.
Yeah, I guess.
You boys from that that part of the world seem to be sim racing gods. So
especially Finland actually, but we Swedes we learn something from our neighbors, and sometimes we get some wins as well.
no, great job, seriously, very well done. It was a great drive, flag to flag. So I'm going to go to Dan Blake. Oh, yeah, Roland. Would you like to thank? Have you got any shout outs for anyone or sponsors that you would like to say thank you to?
Especially just thank you to the whole team and our team boss John Westerlund, who has been with us all the way. He didn't get to drive a race himself, but he was always there pushing us on and keeping everything in order, having all the talks with the administration, so he should get all the thanks. Thanks, John. He also had his birthday not too far ago, so congratulations. This is what was my present to you.
And the perfect present is your race winner, Roland Ehnstrom. I will now pass you over to Dan Blake.
Thank you, Rob. See what drivers we have to come in to see us next. Very, very fierce 45 minutes to end the season with quite a few very close battles. Quite a few close battles there, so very, very enjoyable 45 minutes of racing, and we've got a few more drivers coming in to speak to us, I believe, in the near future. So let's see who the next one is to enter the Glacier TV interview booth.
Hopefully all of them, because that'll make it a lot easier. So Roland's still here, which is all good. He's just making himself a cup of tea in the corner and having a bit of cake in celebration. And sounds like we've just been joined by someone. Dan, who is it?
Yes, we have been joined by Douglas Lundberg. Douglas, a third place finish today. How do you feel your race went for you?
Thank you. It was not great really. I made a poor start, and then after that I just made too many mistakes really. It wasn't great. Roland kicked our butts today, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, I saw you having a very fierce battle with Dave Gelink throughout the race, with no one else really near you. The battle with Dave Gelink was that the highlight of your race?
I don't know really. I don't know if there was any highlight of my race. It'd be maybe the qualifying. In that case, my race was not that great really, and the battles were they were good. They were fine, but we didn't take any risks really. Any of us just had some fun.
Well, let me ask you a question. Well, you had this championship sewn up, so it was kind of gloves off and let's have some fun, which is, to be honest, it's great for us to watch. So thank you for the display of fun driving that you had.
Yeah. I mean, we had already the championship wrapped up. I wasn't really going to drive from the beginning, I think, but we had too few guys in the team having the track, so it was pretty clear that I had to do the race so we could have two cars on the grid.
Yeah, so ineX Racing won 4 out of the 6 races. As a team, it's got to be very good for you to have that sort of level of domination going into future championships.
Yeah, I think everybody in team has done a great job. The atmosphere in the team is really good. We're having a lot of fun together, and I think that's why we're doing quite well on the track as well. We're having fun.
Do you have any thanks for who would you like to thank for this season?
Just my teammates, and especially our team manager, Timo Ivinen, who put everything together and organizes everything. He spends a lot of time for our team with everything that means about my teammates and team especially.
Okay, thank you, Douglas. So that's Douglas Lundberg. He finished 3rd place, and I believe Rob Cuss is with one of the more popular drivers in iRacing, Pablo Lopez.
Pablo Lopez. How was your race, buddy? You seem to have a catastrophic error that put you on the grass.
Yeah, silly error, but overall a funny and successful comeback, I guess. But well, I was battling for second and finally 6th positions, which is not that bad considering that silly mistake twice.
Did you sat nav forget to tell you where to go?
Can you repeat? But
Did your satellite navigation stop working at that critical moment where you needed to turn
my
left?
TomTom was squared.
No, you pulled some great moves off fighting your way back to the field. For any of you that haven't had the pleasure of watching any of Pablo's videos, grab a chance, and when he puts it up, have a look at, because he is fun to watch. He's your classic crazy Spaniard that likes to chuck the car down the outside and inside and all over the place. What goes through your mind when you decide to make a move from hundreds of yards back on a car?
Well, I thought, well, Douglas did leave me room, but was my mistake, and I thought, well, I can make it with the draft, and I will have maybe a chance to pass this great driver, which is also a karting race driver.
So all in all, you enjoyed your race, even though you obviously sadly made a couple of mistakes and didn't finish higher up, but fun race for you?
Yeah, indeed.
Excellent. You got any people you'd like to thank?
Yeah, all my teammates, AJ as well for racing with me, and Radicals, you, Andy, Paul, all the Radical guys and Still Series for support us. And also the organization and the broadcasting guys, which they do a great job putting together all this competition, and it's good for the spectators, I guess.
Yeah, a little special thank you to Yano on cameras. Who was your cameraman? Who has a thankless task, really. But yeah, that was Pablo Lopez. Pablo GoPro Lopez, Moffy Lopez, whatever you want to call him. My teammate. Well done, kids.
Thank you.
Dan, your turn. I think you got Simon Cattell. He's trying to nick my cake, so get off. Leave my cake alone.
Yeah, I'm joined by Simon Cattell. Simon, a very successful season for ineX Racing. What have been your highlights for the season?
Well, pretty much every race has been quite good from our side. We've always kept quite a consistent performance across the whole season, which I think is quite important in a championship like this. Maybe haven't always been the fastest drivers on track, but in the end, it's the results that count. I think we've had a lot of podium finishes this season, so it's just a credit to the guys and all the work they do.
Yeah, you've had 2 podiums today with Dave Gelink and Douglas Lundberg. How do you think their races went for them today?
It was a little bit tricky. Douglas only came back to iRacing 2 days ago, so he's had a job trying to learn everything and made a few mistakes in the race, and so did Dave. But all in all, even with those mistakes, we still got second and third, so quite a good job from those guys.
Roland just seemed a bit too quick for them today, but I don't suppose you got many complaints really being beaten by someone of Roland's quality like in the way he did today.
No, exactly, and congratulations to Roland. It was an amazing job. He's done a very good preparation. He's been quick all season. I think he's won 2 races out of the 3 that he's taken part in, so not too bad to finish behind him, I guess.
Thank you.
Just a quick one, Simon. Did you just say Douglas ain't raced? iRacing, he's had 2 days, basically.
Yeah, he's waived for the karting season, and it's been about 2 months since Douglas.
You're my new driver of the day. That's ridiculous. My hat is firmly taken off to you and waved and saluted in your honour. That is amazing. To come back to the service and just compete like that, 2 days back on the service. That's crazy. He's not even there. He's gone. Oh well.
So, as I was saying before...
Sorry, I'm here now.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I didn't realise you'd been away and you've only been back for 2 days. That's nuts. Well done. That's very good. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've had the subscription still, but I've been just so busy with other stuff, so I've been quite inactive for this year in general. But yeah, I started driving a bit on Tuesday again, and then yesterday I couldn't drive, so a bit on Tuesday and a bit today before the race. I think that also affected our performance today a little bit. Quality setup was really good, but struggling a bit in the race.
Still a great performance. I'm going to have to do a little shout out because I feel quite sad for this guy. Riccardo Crasho Ladro was in the hunt for a podium spot until he disconnected. He just posted on Twitter saying how sad he feels. So big shout out to Riccardo. Unlucky, buddy. It does happen in sim racing, sadly. But yeah, you were on it, and well done for a good drive.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate for Riccardo Crasho. I think we're just about running out of time for today. So the STC Blue Cup has seen an ineX domination, really. They've won 4 out of the 6 races, but they couldn't quite pull it off today. An inspired drive by Roland Ehnstrom has helped Danielsson Motorsports take 2nd place in the championship. So a very good drive from Roland Ehnstrom, and that brings a wrap to the coverage of the STC Blue Cup. I'd like to thank Rob Cuss alongside me for commentating, Janne Matikainen on the cameras. Is there anything, last few words you'd like to say, Rob, before we go off air?
Yes, there is. I'd like to thank the whole series sponsors, rSeat.net for supporting the series, Race to Pump for helping put it on, sim racing teams with their Facebook community. If your team is not involved with them, you should be, because it's a great resource to use. MR Racing Line, that do gloves and boots and karting equipment. Sim Racing hardware for your custom needs. Go and speak to Brian if you fancy anything cool, displays, dashboards, etc. SimLarJ, again, another custom side for the guys on the other side of the world. They're brilliant. Pablo uses some of their stuff. Gigagraph.net if you need a new paint job. Glacier TV, obviously us for putting it on. Sim and Skins, and I believe the STC chat soundtrack that you hear is supplied by MrOctopus.bandcamp.com.
Thank you for watching. This has been a Glacier TV presentation. As Rob Cuss, I'm Dan Blake, and on cameras by Janne Matikainen. So until next time, goodbye, and thank you for watching.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4 to the checkered flag. He wins his first NASCAR High Race